Good afternoon, Sheriff Carmen Marcino. Thank you for being here today. First and foremost, safe kids, safe schools. And see it, say it, make the call are not empty words. I will say them over and over again until I get the messages across. I want to address a terrifying event that happened yesterday at Lehigh Acres Middle School. During lunch, a 6th grade student identified as 12-year-old Jalissa Britton approached another student pointing a weapon in his face. The weapon in question was confirmed to be a BB gun. Britton dragged the victim from the lunch table where they fought for the weapon. All of this took place in a crowded cafeteria. During this brief struggle, a faculty member stepped directly into the fight for the weapon, placing herself in harm's way. The weapon was taken from the suspect and it was immediately secured by the faculty member. This faculty member is a hero. She walked right into a horrifying situation and she took care of business. The incident was over in a matter of seconds. Hearing the radio call, all surrounding patrol units wasted no time and immediately responded to assist to ensure your children were safe. Britton was arrested. She was charged with aggravated assault, battery, disruption of a school function, and possession of a BB gun under 16. I would like to invite Dr. Bernier to say a few words.
Thank you, Sheriff. Christopher Bernier, Superintendent of Schools. Safety in our community is the responsibility of everyone. As I said in my statement last night to our families, if your students see something, they must say something. As a member of our school and larger community, everyone has a moral responsibility and obligation to ensure the safety of all. Our staff and school resource officers are prepared to support any student who comes forward and protect the information that they provide. Our staff is also committed to providing the mental health and other supports to support the wellness of our students. But threatening behavior cannot be tolerated and will not be tolerated. Students involved in this type of action will be disciplined at the school level, but they also face serious legal consequences as well. These consequences may follow a child into adulthood, impacting their college, their future careers, and generally their future. Parents, guardians, grandparents, ministers, pastors, we need your help. Please take time to sit down with our youth and speak to them about the importance of appropriate behavior, both online and at school. It's important for our students more than ever to understand the consequences of their actions, but it's also just as important for them to understand the responsibility they have and the obligation they have to ensuring a safe learning environment. If they see something, they must say something. And then we have the obligation to protect that information and protect that student. They are our eyes and ears. They are our resource. And they have been incredibly diligent using Fortify Florida and many other avenues to deliver their information. We must instill in our young people the responsibility to come forward and the protection that when they do, they'll be safe from harm. Thanks, Sheriff.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Bernier. This behavior is unacceptable and disgusting. The threats we face are real. I have zero tolerance for threatening the lives of our students and teachers. Children need to go to school to learn, not be in fear. And keeping our children safe is a team effort. The Lee County School District has an incredible staff of teachers, administrations, and support staff. Dr. Bernier, their Chief of Security, Dave Newland, we are a team, one cohesive team. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for all that you guys do day in and day out. We work together for the same cause every single day, and that is our children's safety. But we also need your help. As Dr. Bernier said, we need the community, we need the parents, the guardians, the friends. We need all eyes and hands and ears on deck. I'm begging you again, parents and guardians, talk with your kids, talk with your friends. Step up. Have these tough conversations with your children. You are often the first line in helping those who need help and preventing a potential tragedy. If you see something, say something, make the call. I'm also so grateful to the students and faculty in this incident were not harmed. Again, we have an obligation not to let that information out when a student or a reporter comes forward and gives us information, to protect their identity, to keep them anonymous so there is no risk for that and they feel safe and secure. There are a lot of things that keep you awake as sheriff, and I've always said it since day one. We could do everything possible known to mankind. We're ranked #1 in the state of Florida for how we protect our children. It does not mean that we are immune. Anything can happen anytime. So again, I ask the media, I ask teachers, guardians, I ask friends, I ask parents and guardians, please sit your child down. Check that book bag and make sure books are inside that book bag. 106,000 kids go to school in Lee County, give or take. That's 106,000 potential book bags that we pray books are in them. Our children are going to be safe. And in today's day and age, having those tough conversations is absolute and necessary. We'll take some questions.
Sheriff, why wait until today to give the information about the BB gun and not go out with that initial notice to parents?
It was preliminary with the investigation. Again, we, when I say we, Dr. Bernier, the school administration, the chief of security, our detectives, we want to figure out all the facts, because I know that everyone, and again, a parent and everybody in the community wants to know right away everything. And I wish I could press a button, #1, and not be standing here talking about this. #2, give the information immediately and make sure everybody's safe. But we never want to compromise an investigation. We want to make sure that the information that we get out has been validated, investigated, and factual. And then, transparently, we want to deliver that as soon as possible. But we don't want to tarnish that investigation.
Sheriff, where did she get the gun and was it loaded?
So, obviously, it's a BB gun. It was a metal, and I didn't have the gun in my possession, but I was told absolutely looked like a real gun. And I'm not certain where she got that BB gun, but obviously it was in her bag, and that is alarming to me. And I don't know. I've had no dialogue with the parents or guardians, but I say to myself, are they checking her bags when she leaves in the morning for school? Are they having these tough conversations that we're all asking them to do? They're part of the team, and they're a critical part. We don't go home with the students. We don't know the dialogue. We don't know who's helping them make the right choices and decisions, but it's unknown at this time. And as that investigation unfolds, at some point we're going to get that out.
Do you know what the threat was that the student made, if there was a background with the other students?
Obviously, again, I want to give you as much information as I possibly can. The background is obviously these two students have a beef, and that beef turns out to the one student presenting or displaying that real-looking BB gun, and then get into a physical confrontation with the other child. So we're sorting that out as we speak. There's a lot of things that we do. The school threat enforcement team has just doubled. So we're looking at social media, we're talking to witnesses, we're gathering statements, and that's piecing together as we speak to really find out, one, what caused this incident, and two, and most importantly, did somebody else on campus, another student, did they know about a BB gun being in that bag? Again, did they know about it, one, and two, are they afraid to come forward, and why? Because we want to make certain we're doing everything we can to keep them protected, and that's absolute.
Sheriff, there's been a lot of threats, a lot of weapons on campus this year. Is there anything in the works to make sure that that doesn't happen, to prevent those weapons from making it into our schools?
Well, I can tell you, I think Dr. Bernier sleeps about 2 hours a night. He probably gets a little less than I do. I'm very, very thankful for the team that's in place. I will tell you, this school administration, our superintendent and his staff, and I mean this, they're the best I've ever seen. We talk continuously. We learn, unfortunately, from incidents that take place, and we are talking about everything possible as we sit here to make sure that we target hard in schools to the best of our abilities. But again, the main focus, it's not just see it, say it, make the call, never ignoring red flags, but making certain the biggest piece of the puzzle for us not to be standing here is intervention by parents and guardians. It's having those parents and guardians sit their children down and say, this is a tough conversation, but your choices and decisions may have huge consequences in your life. And I keep saying it, I keep repeating it, because yes, we have seen a slight increase in these threats. If we wanted to, we would do press conferences every day to talk about that. That's not what we want. We want safe kids, safe schools, no matter what. And I got to applaud their staff again. Our school administration does such a great job. Yesterday, we were on the phone going back and forth up to almost 1 in the morning, and then 4:35 in the morning again. It just doesn't stop. But I want the parents to know, not only do I ask you to have those conversations, but know that your school resource officers, your Lee County Sheriff's Office, your school administration, the superintendent, we are hands-on and doing everything to make sure your child comes home safe.
Just how alarming is it we're seeing these kids younger and younger, commit acts like this, and just how
It gives me the chills, and I said it before. We could do everything possible. It doesn't mean we're immune. Okay, I think of the recent unfortunate, tragic events that we've seen all across our country. Things have heated up. The days of someone pushes someone, they fall on the playground, they get a black eye. I might date myself, a stake on the eye, and then you come back and you're best friends. What we're seeing is horrible. Now, where does that come from? Times have changed. We play video games, right? Video games that teach you, Grand Theft Auto, how to steal cars and shoot other objects or people in the video. You know what? Let's get back to the basics. Let's get the parents having that dialogue. Sit down at the dinner table and put your smartphone down. Forget about Instagram, Facebook, and everything else you do with Snapchats. And let's have a steak dinner or a hamburger. Little John, how was school today? How's math? Is there any issues in school? No, if there's a bullying issue, let's get in front of it. I mean, we talk all the time and we handle little things, but when you lose those foundational little things, you lose big things. And I think that's where the world has changed today, unfortunately.
just quick follow-up, do we know if the gun was loaded or still not?
At this point, I don't know that answer, and I can get that answer for you. But I will tell you, absolutely looked like a real gun. It gives me the chills. Sir?
Shortly after the Uvalde shooting, you held you were involved in the statewide conference and addressed school safety. We know Lee County schools are one of the districts that don't yet have, metal detectors or detectors. Is that plan in the works, or are there other plans in the works, other than the human resources at the schools?
I said it before, and I will address it partially. We, as a team, the school administration, our superintendent, who's second to none, I say that from the heart, we are constantly looking for ways to do better, to learn and change and make change and affect change and work better and more efficiently and safer. But as far as that, I'm going to let Dr. Bernier speak on that one.
The school district is going to leave no stone unturned, to use the sheriff's description. We look at everything related both to physical, electronic barriers, anything we can do to get weapons. We are currently looking at different types of technology. Before this incident, we were already working on this. After this incident, we will continue to move forward to secure our school buildings and make sure that our children are safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.